Ethic is withering from our society. It has become rare phenomena because from dawn to dusk we are busy to accumulate wealth. And this accumulation of wealth has given us sense of competition. And this sense of competition has made us so busy that we cannot take part in other spheres of life. And our human society has bifurcated between the two warring groups, have and have not. Now the question arises, who are held responsible? There are two groups which are entirely responsible. First, the layman, the common man, and the younger generation. Second, our so called role model, or so called planner, so called pioneer, so called bureaucrat, or so called feudal lord, or so called politicians. They are equally responsible. Now let us analyze for the first time about our layman, common man, and the younger generation. What are their responsibilities which they are trying to avoid? But before I say anything, I would like to say one thing that they are very positive because with the passage of time they will improve. Now let us analyze our younger youth, layman, the common man. If they utilize their energy, their power, their sagacity, their wisdom, their enlightenment, their cognitive skill, their craftsmanship, their experience of life, they can transform failure into success. Is that clear? So, but the problem is that they are living in the world of utopia. They are living in the world of imagination. They are living in the world of romanticism. They think that everything will change, but everything will never change. They think that everything will change without their effort automatically, but everything will never change automatically. So, what are their problems? They are living in the world of utopia, in the world of imagination. Their example is sit over here like that of a pigeon. You know, when pigeon sees a cat, he closes his eyes and think that danger will pass. But danger will never pass. Their example is sit over here like that of a pigeon. Again, I would like to repeat. Their example is sit over here like that of a pigeon. When the pigeon sees a cat, he closes his eyes. So they have closed their eyes to face the bitter and acrimonious realities of life. It must be their first and foremost duty that they should try to confront the bitter, acrimonious, and the stark and the ground realities of life. But they are living in the fool's paradise. Their example is sit over here like a beautiful example I would like to give you. Their example is sit over here like that of a pigeon, also like that of the ostrich. When ostrich sees danger, he buries his head into the mud and think that danger will pass. But danger will never pass unless and until they try. Now, they should try to come out from their dragginess, from their slowness, from their lethargic attitude, and try to face the hard and difficult realities of life. Try to face the bitter and acrimonious realities of life. If they do, I'm 100% hopeful for my Pakistan's future is bright, will be bright. But the problem is over there. I would like to give you the example of, that of education. Say education. Is that clear? If I try to analyze our country, where our country is standing, our country, if I try to compare rest of the other world of the university, world rank university, Pakistan stands nowhere. So that is the education of dilapidating education system, deteriorating education system. So with the passage of time, it trying to minimize. But now, what should be done? The thing should be, they should try to change according to the changing circumstances. We should try to accept the bitter realities that Pakistani university do not stand rest of the other university of the world rank university. And it is sorry to say that India's universities stand worldwide rank 5 to 6 or 11 university in the world. But Pakistan stand nowhere. But I'm very much positive. I'm very much hopeful. I'm very much optimistic about my younger youth. If they utilize their energy, their power, then definitely they will get success. So the thing is, the need of today is that they should try to come out and try to stop their present situation. Their present situation is that they are living in the world of utopia, in the world of imagination, in the world of romanticism. So if they come out from these kind of things, then definitely the future of the Pakistan will be bright. Now come our second group. Our second group involve our so-called role model, our so-called planner, our so-called pioneer, so-called bureaucrat, so-called feudal lord, so-called politician. They are living in their intoxicated luxury. They are living in their ivory tower with an intoxicated luxury. They have become formidable superhuman creatures. Their main job is to amass money. Their main job is to collect money. Their main job is to multiply money. Their main job is to roll into money. But for their own vested interest, not for the interest of downtrodden and that of the poverty-stricken. They do not want to confront, they do not want to change the plight of the layman and the common man and the younger generation. They come over here, they come on the power only and only to change their own self and their children, not for the children of nation, not for the children of, that of a Pakistan. Their main job is to amass money, to collect money, to multiply money, to roll into money for themselves and for their children. Nothing like that. And example is fit over here like that. So what Quran says about these people? What Quran says about these people who are sitting in their ivory tower with an intoxicated luxury? Quran says in Surah Al-Humazah, woe to every scorner and mocker who collects wealth and continuously count it. He thinks that his wealth will make him immortal. Quran says, no, he will surely be thrown into the crusher. And what can make you know what is a crusher? Crusher is the hellfire of Allah, where is eternal fuel, which mount directly at the heart. Indeed, that is hellfire, will be closed down upon the inextended column. And then there is another beautiful surah in which God says about these intoxicated people who are enjoying in their ivory tower. What Quran says in Surah Al-Fil, have you not considered, O Muhammad, how you dealt with the companion of elephants? Did he not make the twain into misguidance? And he sent again the birds in flock, stacking them in stone or hard clay, and he made them like eaten, etc. So the question arises, then how we can change? It is the layman, the common man and the younger generation. They can only change. Nothing like that if they practically do something, then definitely they can do it. Now the problem is over here is that there are two aspects of life. One, the physical aspect of life, other, the ethical way of life. Two things are very important. Physical aspect of life and ethical way of life. If we combine two things, then we can move towards the road of progress. Is that clear? But the thing is that we do not want to do like that. Every one of us every one of us find the ways and means to dwell the physical aspect of life and try to ignore the ethical way of life. And this phenomenal thing, that of a Bertrand Russell, the European philosopher, tried to communicate in his piece of literature. He is a scientist, philosopher, and great writer. What he says about European civilization. He says, so far as European civilization is concerned, European civilization is a complete failure, complete fiasco. It is because of the fact that he pinpoints that there are two aspects of life: the development of physical aspect of life and the development of ethical way of life. So Russell is of the opinion we have set aside the ethical way and we are trying to develop the physical aspect of life. And we could not infuse into the mind of modern scientists, modern humanists, modern philosopher, writer, and things like that. So everyone is trying to develop physical aspect of life. What are the repercussions of that of development of physical life? The repercussion of this thing is that the modern man, devoid of ethic, devoid of moral, try to extract underground treasures like a spendthrift child. And a day will come when it will deplete. And what will happen with that of the universe, with this world, with this earth? This earth will dilapidate. So he is of the opinion that if we want to save our earth, then we should try to create two things simultaneously in the human being. And what are the two things? The development of physical aspect of life and development of ethical way of life. We are deliberately trying to ignore the ethical way of life. So Russell is of the opinion European civilization is a complete failure unless and until they try to include ethic. So they have set aside the ethic. So same as the situation is over here. We have set aside the ethic, moral. So we try to think on the basis of physical aspect of life. We try to develop the physical aspect of life. And that's why our society trying to go deeper and deeper. Our society is dilapidating. Our society is deteriorating. And in the end, I am of the opinion, I am hopeless about my so-called role model, so-called planners, so-called pioneer. I am very much hopeful about my younger youth. I am very much positive, very much hopeful that if they utilize their energy, their power, their sagacity, their wisdom, their enlightenment, their cognitive skill, their craftsmanship, their experience of life, then a day will come, they will definitely change the fate of this country. So the need of today is that we should try to come out from our dragginess, from our slowness, from our lethargic attitude. If we want to develop, it must be we who could do something to come forward. And we shouldn't try to think, that of these role models, these pioneers. Their main job is to amass money. Their main job is to collect money. Their main job is to multiply money for their own self, not for the self, not for that of the nation. Their main job is to hoodwink the masses. Their main job is to hoodwink the masses. And out of doing this thing, they are trying to work for their own vested interest, not for the interest of, that of a younger youth. So it must be our first and foremost duty that younger youth, our layman, the common man, and the poverty stricken should try to understand their thinking. They stop it. They stop thinking about these pioneers. Try to work, try to start job. If they practice, then definitely a time will come they will get success. Otherwise, we cannot get success. So if we do not try to face the reality, the bitter reality, and try to change according to the changing circumstances, If we try to change according to the changing circumstances, a day will come, Pakistan start functioning properly. So that is the message which I want to communicate to you people.